Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review as well as a demo of the brand new reformulated Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation, as well as the brand new setting spray from Charlotte Tilbury, which is called the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray Matte Blur. I actually got this as part of a set from Charlotte Tilbury Direct because you tend to get money off. So I got all three of these, including my Airbrush Flawless Finish powder, which is my ride or die, my holy grail. It broke and finished a little while ago, so it made sense that because I wanted to try these two out, that I may as well add this in. This is not going to be part of the review. My shade is number 2 medium in case anyone's interested. This review is going to be solely focused on these brand new products. So the initial Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation has been very, very popular over the years. I reviewed it when it first came out years ago. I looked back at my old video. Firstly, I look so different. One thing that I was reminded of was that was not a favorite foundation of mine. Here is the original one. I've still got it. I've used about that much and then I stopped using it. So I gave it a 7 out of 10 and I wanted to understand why this had been reformulated and if this is actually better. So first off, this retails at £39 and I think it comes in about 43 shades. My shade is number 6 warm, and I need to caveat this by saying the shade range has changed. If you were in your previous Airbrush one, you will probably not be the same in this one. And 6 warm is regarded as a shade for medium skin with golden neutral undertones. Don't know about that. I have got light to medium skin tone with yellowy golden undertones. There's no neutral in there. Charlotte Tilbury's shade range has always baffled me. Even the descriptions baffle me because there are apparently 2 warm shades with this same description. So it was a toss-up for me to decide between the two, and I decided to go for this one, and I'm alright with it because, as you can see, look, by looking at my neck, bear in mind it's nighttime right now, I'm just using my Hollywood mirror, it is a perfect match for me. However, at the same time, a week and a half ago, I came back from the south of Spain. It was 35 degrees and I have got a tan. My forehead is a little bit darker than the rest of me, and most likely over the next couple of weeks, this will become a little bit darker for me as my tan starts to fade, but as it currently stands, it works pretty well, I would say. This is also 30ml, and I will compare it obviously to the last one. The bottle difference is not that much. Here you can see the difference between the two. They've just changed up the stylization of the writing, the fonts, a little bit of the logo itself here, but there's not that much of a difference. They're both still glass, and it just comes with a normal easy to use pump. Here you can see. So before I go into the demo, just so you guys can see what it looks like against my face, I'm going to try and keep it brief because Charlotte Tilbury writes way too much marketing jargon on their website. Darlings. This is the future of full coverage foundation. After 10 years of award-winning airbrush confidence, I have taken Airbrush Flawless Foundation to the next level. Bottling the latest technology in my new liquid foundation is a 7-in-1 Airbrush miracle. Long wear, light as air, hydrates like skincare. The language is very over the top flowery, but we'll go with it. There's a reason everyone is saying wow when they try my new Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I'll stop trying to be sarcastic, I can't help it. Don't recognize yourself after this full coverage makeup transformation. Blurred, smooth, flawless, poreless, it's your skin like you've never seen it before. If you love a 3D matte finish that never looks flat, flawless full coverage that doesn't settle into fine lines, and long-lasting foundation that stays all day, Airbrush Flawless Foundation is the one you've been waiting for. Darlings, I've bottled the legendary smoothing and pouring blurring effects of my award-winning Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. Unlock unstoppable skin confidence for everyone, everywhere, from red carpet to real life. I wore this to the eye hospital, you guys. Apparently it's got light diffusing powders that instantly airbrush the look of skin tone and texture, smooth the look of fine lines, minimize shine with a mattifying powder blur finish. A second skin feel. It instantly erases the look of blemishes, redness, hyperpigmentation, and uneven skin tone in the most flattering way. Phyto Youth Essence. I call Phyto Youth Essence my magic time machine because it unleashes your skin's full potential. It targets visible signs of aging and hydrates for up to 24 hours, helping your skin look plumper, retexturize, and revitalize. Air Cool technology creates a cream to air stretch wear texture that melts into skin, feeling breathable and light as air while combating the effects of sweat, humidity, and giving you a lasting, fresh feel it. If the shade you choose isn't a match, exchange your foundation and try another shade for free. By the way, that is only if you purchase it in store. If you buy it online, then you can go and return it. That doesn't mean that if you've bought it from other companies like Sephora or wherever it is. All right, we get the gist. It sounds very similar to the last one, not gonna lie, but I did still want to understand whether this one was better. And considering I gave the last one a 7 out of 10, I wanted to approach this one with a bit more of an open mind to say that, okay, they have taken on board the issues with the last one and they have made this one a lot better. I've never been a huge fan of Charlotte Tilbury's foundations, which is why you rarely see them on my channel, because every time I have purchased them, I've been let down. Now, in saying that, let's go into my review for this. So I have only got one clean foundation brush lying around, so it's up to you which one you want to use. This is just some NYX one that I got from I don't know where. It's a buffing brush and it worked well. And what you'll see me doing is applying one full pump onto my face, which is actually quite a lot, just to cover one side of my face, because that way you can definitely see very clearly immediately it is very, very, very full coverage. You don't need to apply as much as I did. I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like to its full capacity. Once it's blended in as seamlessly as it is, you can see the difference between one side of my face and the other side. Now I'm going to move on to the other side of my face just to finish it all off. The only thing I've got on my face is skincare. I don't have any primer or anything else on, but then you can see what it looks like once I've applied it to my face. Now bear in mind, I have noticed that you have to give it a couple of minutes for it to settle down on the face. It may initially look a little bit stark, but then I remember the previous one used to oxidize, and I feel like this one does slightly as well. Then what I did was afterwards I set it using the Airbrush powder, because this one definitely does need to be set, you guys. Otherwise it stays tacky throughout the day, which is a feeling that I definitely don't like. I like my face to feel smooth and like velvet and like there's nothing on it. I don't like the feeling of stickiness, tackiness. It almost feels like it's just never dried, and that's exactly how this one feels on my face. Then once my makeup is done, I go in with the brand new Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray Matte Blur, just to finish it all off, to give myself that nice mattifying look. But I'll talk about this later on. But I just wanted you guys to see what the foundation looks like initially once I've applied it, and obviously now you guys can see it's settled down on my face. Okay, before I get into what my thoughts are about this, I just wanted to read to you what the difference actually was, or what they claim that the difference is with the new one against the previous one. Apparently got longer wear, lasts up to 24 hours, a lighter feel, light as air, full coverage, 3D matte, not flat finish, waterproof, transfer proof, humidity proof and sweat proof. I'm sure that's what the previous one was supposed to be anyway. Even more skincare benefits. Why? 44 new Air True shades. So in all honesty, there's not that much of a difference. I think the previous one was like up to 12 hours wear, maybe. I mean, most people don't tend to wear their foundation for up to 24 hours, but I suppose it's good to know, for example, if you're traveling. Okay, so let's go into what their claims are, and I'll let you know what my thoughts are. Blurring, yes, I would say that it definitely blurs out everything. It is definitely full coverage. I mean, the fact that it has literally covered everything. I mean, where's my beauty spot? There's my beauty spot there. I can just about see it. But this covers up everything. Redness, marks, hyperpigmentation, the criminal history, this covers it all. Flawless, poreless, yep, there's no pores, it's completely flawless. My face looks perfect, I can't lie. 3D matte finish. I've always been a bit funny about that term. What does 3D matte actually mean? I mean, my face is 3D, so technically, am I not gonna look 3D anyway? But we'll go with it, okay, it is matte, yes. Does it settle into fine lines? Well, I don't have any fine lines, but I have noticed that I've got a slight smile line on the side here, and I've noticed that it does start to settle in that area, exactly like the last foundation used to do. Long lasting and stays all day, up to 24-hour wear, yeah? You guys, just like the previous one, it gets to about hour 6 and the breakdown happens. It starts around my nose, it starts around my mouth, on my chin and in my forehead area. It starts to break down significantly as well. Now I noticed that first off when I used this on its own, it started to break down. Now bear in mind, in London right now, in September, the weather is humid. However, it's only about 21, 22 degrees. I wouldn't call it hot. I'd say it's nice. It's a nice temperature, right? So you can imagine how fast this is going to break down if the temperatures were a lot higher. When it got to about hour 12, by then it had broken down a lot more, but it tends to be in the areas where more oil tends to build up naturally on your face. I don't expect that from a new reformulated foundation, because that's exactly what the last one used to do. I rewatched my video to remind myself and I was like, oh my god, this does exactly the same as the last one. It apparently smooths out texture. I would have to agree, as somebody who has got textured skin, it definitely does not emphasize the texture on my face, which is obviously great. adding to that whole airbrush kind of finish. Minimize shine with a mattifying powder blur finish, I would say yes. Now, even though it did start to break down, that didn't mean that I started to go shiny. So it does actually retain that kind of matte look, which is, I suppose, good in a way. All right, it's got that Phyto Youth essence in it. Again, skincare. This is the reason why this product continuously breaks down on my face. I've got normal to combination skin. I don't really tend to get shiny much, even when I have worn this out and about, and I have been wearing it out in the sun. Again, the temperature's been quite normal in London while I've been using this over the past week. I found that I didn't get shiny or anything like that. However, I do feel that because this has so much skincare in it, that is the reason why it is breaking down in those areas, just like the previous foundation. This is a skincare infused foundation. It doesn't need to be. Most people tend to use skincare before they put on foundation. Most people don't tend to slap foundation onto their face without a base. Even people who barely use skincare will still use some sort of moisturizer. Breathable, yes, I suppose it is. Light as air, yes it is. Combating the effects of sweat and humidity, giving you a lasting fresh feeling. No, it does not. So you guys, I had, like I said, an eye hospital appointment yesterday, and you know when you get your eyes checked, you have to put your head in that thing, which is like a bar on the top of your head, and you're resting your chin. And I was like, this is the perfect time to test how they say that it is transfer proof, etc. I was in A&E in the eye hospital, so there was about 40 people in there. It was crammed, it was hot, it was sweaty. So by the time I was seen, I was feeling quite hot. As soon as I move my head away, I look on the bar, there is a nice brown line on there, and there's a brown line on the chin area, and I was like, so this is supposed to be transfer proof, sweat proof, humidity proof? I don't think so. It is not. Just like the previous one. I stated all those claims with that one, and they were not met, and they have not been met in my eyes yet again. So yes, I do have to say, yeah, it does blend out beautifully on the face. You don't need to apply that much even to get full coverage. It doesn't take that long to blend out onto the face. You don't have to do lots of buffing and moving around or anything like that. It does not attach itself to any dry skin on the face, but I do find that when it starts to break down, and like I said, it breaks down way too sooner than I would want it to. 6 to 7 hours. I mean, that's not even a full working day. The second time round, this is getting a 7 out of 10 again. I don't see the difference, you guys. There's not that much of a difference to me. It breaks down just like the other one used to. In fact, I think that this breaks down even sooner than that one did. A reformulation to me means a brand new formula, and that it is supposed to perform better. This does not perform better, it performs exactly the same. So this is something that I'm disappointed with, I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting great things. That's the reason why I thought I'd give them a chance again, because I was let down the first time, and lo and behold, let down again. You know, my face looks flawless. Yeah, great. I've had it on my face for what? 45 minutes? That's it? Not impressed, you guys. Let's now move on to the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray Matte Blur. Bear in mind, when I was at my eye hospital appointment, I had this on my face as well. Even this could not stop it from moving around on my face. But what I did love about this was that it kept my face lovely and matte and soft and feeling like velvet. I actually really like this. I give this one, on the other hand, a 10 out of 10. I've always been a big fan of Charlotte Tilbury's setting sprays. So this retails at £32 and it is 100ml. It's a decent size. 100ml is generally what is necessary for me anyway. So what they say about this is that it is... I'm not reading all this gumph again, or for God's sake, it's a setting spray. Okay, so I'm going to try and cut it down again. Blurring, mattifying, smoothing and setting. That's what this is supposed to do, and that's what it definitely does do. This I give a 10 out of 10. It has got a scent to it, you guys. It's like this awful perfumed old lady smell. I don't like it. Why this needs to have a scent to it, I don't know, but at least the scent does dissipate after a little while. So it says it's light as air, waterproof, mattifying setting spray that primes and sets makeup for up to 16 hours with no melting, fading or creasing. It's mattifying blurred makeup magic in a bottle. Okay, well, I suppose it is in a way. Not that it worked with that foundation, but I have used it with other foundations, and I do have to say it works with them, just not its own brand counterpart, which is ironic. And it has got that little clicky thing inside, so you do have to shake it before you use it. You're advised to hold it a couple of inches away from your face and spray. It's got a nice easy spray to it. It doesn't squirt out. It's like a nice fine sort of mist, so it goes evenly everywhere. I also feel that it doesn't feel tight on the face, which is great. Some other setting sprays that I've got tend to feel a little bit tight if you accidentally use a bit too much, but I don't find that that happens with this, which is great. It's designed for oily skin to combination skin, well, if you want a matte face basically, and is inspired by the Airbrush Flawless Finish powder, which obviously we know that I love. So all in all, I would recommend this. I would not recommend this. So that's it for my review of the brand new Charlotte Tilbury Reformulated Airbrush Flawless Foundation, not so flawless, and the brand new Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray Matte Blur, which I do like. Let me know what your thoughts are. Have you tried this? Are you going to try it? Are you going to leave it? Did you even like the previous one or not? Let me know in the comment section below. Other than that, I hope you guys are wonderful, gorgeous, fabulous, and beautiful as always, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.